Hello and welcome to a video vlog follow along. We mostly sit in this room for a few days straight, just getting stuff done. The trend of my life, I was gonna say this video, but it's been more than that lately, has been trying to get things done that I've just been sitting around like 80% finished or just need a little something tweaked to be done. I'm the queen of, oh, this will take me 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to push it off for at minimum 3 months, if not towards a year. And not that I filmed every nitty-gritty thing, but I really tried to get some of this shit done. And I'm actually really proud of everything I accomplished. There's still so much to do because of course there is. I had a wrap skirt that my washing machine just decided to like eat and destroy. They like created a huge gash in the skirt, and of course that's like my go-to summer skirt. It will now have like a fold in it, which maybe in the future I will repair, but there's something about it that, one, doesn't really bother me that much. We'll see if that maintains. I might in the future just like kind of roll it all the way up to the top so that there's just an obvious like fold there versus kind of a bubble. I might go in and do that, but that is, you know, we did something, we're moving on. But it really doesn't bother me that much. It's just, you know, I've had that skirt for like a really long time, like probably coming up on almost 10 years. It actually might be 10 years that I've had that skirt. I love it. And I know, you know, clothes that you love for a really long time are just gonna look different at different stages in your life. And I'm totally down with that. So yeah, this was a great first repair, correction. Oh my gosh, I've wanted to fix this or finish this blouse for a million years. I do a side tie top. I know the whole tie thing is like incredibly popular right now, and something I've actually never made is a short sleeve of any kind. Normally I am a tank top or I am a long sleeve person. Short sleeve just always felt really daunting, and it started because I wanted to try out the tie front tops in a material that I already made a pant from, so I would have a cute little matching set. And I then of course wanted to make one out of, I was basically doing two at once to kind of play around with it, and the one that you see will be available for shopping. And I really, wow, did those short sleeves like scare me for some reason. I wish I could say why, but I feel like I approach sewing with a lot of fear, which is not, I mean, fear and curiosity, which, you know, the fear part isn't great, don't really understand why. Maybe it's a weird little psychological thing I don't feel like diving into, but yeah, the sleeves are really, I'm a big fan. Of course, I want to play around with it more in the future. I need to just do actual research on sleeves, which would be great if only I took the time to do stuff like that. I ended up doing, I never showed the finished one in the video, so here I am. It's a little cap sleeve basically. They're definitely a little bit smaller than I would have liked. They still work, but in the future I will be playing around with this shape. But I think this actually came out so cute. I need to take some photos with it. I'm really bad at taking photos of things after I've actually finished them. I need to show this baby off because this is actually really cute, and I should finish the one in my pattern. What do we think? I think I need to do that. Add it to the list. Add it to the to-do list. I had, again, just finishing up. Oh my gosh, does it feel so good to finally finish projects. I say that as if I'm not staring at a million other things I need to get done as well. But I had a good friend who requested one of these side tie tops out of, I think it was a vintage tablecloth. Literally someone in a building I've lived in previously left a whole pile of fabric in the basement and said like, take it. So of course I did, and this gorgeous like woven vintage, I think it was a tablecloth I've had now for about a year and a half. And I really waited to use it, was again fearful of what I was gonna do, and then finally for this most recent St. Patrick's Day I made a handful of things using the tablecloth. I used up like genuinely almost every inch of that tablecloth. I had so minimal scraps, which is very exciting. But that was such a popular pattern, of course, for St. Patrick's Day, and it's just really cute, and a green is not a color I pick up frequently, so that was really fun. And my friend requested one of them, basically one of the last tops I had with that fabric, but they requested I give it some darts so that it like fit them a little bit better. They didn't want quite the boxy shape. So it was really fun to do a little fitting, pin it. That is not, you know, my super specialty, but I know how to do it enough. So I was, you know, I've been lately trying to prioritize really taking care with doing things, because I think so much love goes into, even though it's so corny, like I'm just sitting there touching a garment and like taking my time, and like this piece is going to be loved by someone, and so it should be loved by me, and I don't want to race through it. And when you're making so many clothes, or the goal is to make so many clothing items, you can feel the pressure to like do it really fast, which of course happens, but I try to take my time and really just like, if I cherish it, someone else will cherish it, is the hope. So I really, you know, took the time. If it was for me, I would have done this so chaotically, but because it was for my friend, nicely measured the darts, used my chalk to mark it all up. I was so proud of myself for this. I'm not even joking. That is how much I tend to cut corners when it's for me. Of course not when it's for someone else, but it was very satisfying to like take the time. Take the time and be patient and appreciate it. And hopefully they like it. I kind of just like, unfortunately I don't have it, but I promise it's cute. There's so many other random things I corrected. I was trying to fix a pair of glasses. I had side tables I was repairing. I had canvas or boards and things I was gluing together. I fixed so many things, and there are still so many things I need to fix. In fact, there's a cat tower waiting for me to glue it together, because I think that is the only way it will maintain any stability at this point in its life, which is a whole thing that I'm not getting into. But it was just repair, give it a second life. I'm tired of it sitting around. I want it to work. I don't see a point. I'm not buying anything new. And it just, I feel like there's so much pressure on how we fill our free time. And yes, I'm on board with like, we shouldn't own a bunch of stuff because then you spend so much of your time managing said stuff. But I do think we should be prioritizing spending time to like care for and repair the items that we have. And it can feel really overwhelming. And you just kind of start those piles of, I'll get to this one day. I am that person through and through, but this was just a really satisfying week of fixing things and repairing and finishing. And last, the meat of this video, the meat of this week, that was so exciting, so stressful, all of the above, was I had a client commission for a blanket pullover. This is someone I met at an in-person event, and we got to talking. They came over. I have multiple other things that they have requested for me to make, but this was our first project together, and it was so fun. Clients come to me with a variation of ideas. Some completely depend on me to kind of prompt a concept. Others come with ideas. I love both, truly, but there is something so special when someone comes to me and is like, oh, I'm thinking this, and this, but like, what do you think? And I just think it was such a fun, creative back and forth. Genuinely, like, it was so much fun. And their only request was for this Daffy Duck blanket, that the large Daffy Duck be the front of the sweater, and that the copyright for Warner Bros. Be on the arm, or at least incorporated in some way into this, like, not get cut off, basically. Those were their two biggest requests that they really felt passionate about. And then otherwise we, you know, decided it would be a hoodie, we got measurements, we did the whole thing. Normally when there are very specific visual parts of a blanket I'm trying to incorporate into something, I have to get supplemental fabric. So thankfully I had this just plain black, almost like a fleece blanket that I'd had around for a while that was perfect. It like basically blended in beautifully, and I'll use panels of that to, you know, make a full piece. So the popular thing is to, the whole front will most likely be whatever the image is, and then the front of each sleeve will be whatever the blanket is, and then sometimes the back of the sleeves will be the supplemental fabric or something of that sort. That's how we did it here. And then I added supplemental fabric to the, like, what the yoke would have been, like the top of the back of the sweater, as well as the bottom. And we went back and forth on how to use that for quite a while. And I did have to use strips of the supplemental black fabric in the hood because I needed a little bit more than I thought for the back, which is totally fine. I think it made it look really even and like well incorporated. Because even though you never want supplemental fabric to look like an oopsie, that's always how I put it. I want it to look intentional. I use the word intentional like a lot in my work, but I just don't want it to look like an accident. I want it to look like you wanted it there, that it's a little patchworky, it's a little bit of a pattern, but it needs to look like it was melded together, like it was meant to be. I always, again, I really take my time on commissions because there's just so much extra pressure, especially if they've given me the fabric, that I'm like cutting something up that they value for whatever reason or find cool, and I don't want to mess it up. So it is quite stressful for me, but I'm telling you, the outcome is so rewarding, and it is so exciting to deliver it and be like, what do you think? And like watching them try it on and seeing it just like fit their body is literally the best thing in the world. So this was such a fun one, and I have so many more to do which is very exciting, but I need to like space them out or I get really stressed out. And thankfully I've worked with people who have been very understanding that my life can change pretty dramatically week to week, and I try to be very transparent. It is something I'm definitely working on, is getting a clearer system with commissions. It's just a whole mess that is not needed to get into, but I've worked with really incredible people, and I hope to keep working with incredible people. I have faith I will keep working with incredible people. But yeah, that was just, this hoodie was like very exciting for me. Yeah, it was just great, just great. I think that wraps up everything from this video. I know there was a lot of little bits, but we are just chugging along. We are getting through things. I think it is so fun to kind of just have snippets of what's going on. This room is chaos pretty much at all times, but I have a lot of really fun ideas that I'm really excited about and a lot of cool things coming up. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more into vlogging. If you're interested, you should follow me on Instagram or TikTok, where I post about kind of the more day-to-day stuff. If you're interested, again, I sew, I paint, I try to be fun. Try to create cool things. So if you'd like to stick around and you'd like to subscribe, that would be so appreciated. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.